Questions. How do values show up in discovering my purpose? Second question. How do values and purpose work together? And then the third question. During a life transition, and you can think of many of them, retirement, empty nesting, grief, loss of life, whatever it happens to be, loss of mind, maybe dementia, whatever. During these transitions, how can my values, how can they help me live out my purpose? So let's start with the first one. How do values show up in discovering my purpose? What I did was go through an exercise similar to the values exercise, and it talks about strengths, and purpose is essentially my opportunity to take the strengths I've been given by God to put them in the use of humanity beyond myself. So with that as a concept, each of us gets an opportunity to establish a purpose statement. I was blessed and I got to do my purpose work with Richard Leider himself. And I came out with a card. The top card in my exercise was bringing out potential. And out of that came a purpose statement. As I reflected on my values and I reflected on this statement, my purpose statement became, my purpose is to help myself and others, all of you, achieve our highest and greatest potential. That's my purpose. And I've made my life about that. And I try to live in alignment and on purpose. I do what I do intentionally, on purpose, and I do what I do on purpose, with my purpose in mind. So as you think about the alignment model, remember, we are most effective when we are aligning our real self with our ideal self, and we are achieving our goals and honoring our sense of purpose in so doing. Purpose and goals are in the middle frame. Remember the middle frame? Principles and values are far left. Behaviors, thoughts, actions, emotions, far right. So I want to align my real self, the third frame, with my ideal self, the first frame, while doing so purposefully, on purpose, and achieve my goals. Let's talk a little bit about life transition. We have them all the time. And what's interestingly true is most of our values travel with us as we transition. Some of our values will change, but many of our values don't. The research suggests that the ones that change least frequently are our moral values. So the things we learn between the ages of 2 and 6, that's when our moral compass is pretty well established. And those don't change much. So we learn right from wrong, and we take that gift that we've been given by God, and we recognize we have a conscience. We know right from wrong. We know by the time we're 5, 6 years old. The research is pretty clear. Unless that little infant is damaged, those first 2 years of life are critical. So those first 2 years, that little baby needs what's called a somatic bath. They need a bath of love and safety. When they have that bath, then their brain gets to develop, and then they get to develop what we call praiseworthy values. We have them all our lives, but we transition a lot. Put yourself at the center of your universe. The way I think of it is I think of Lennick Enterprises. Think of yourself, center of the universe. You are the hub. And then think of the spokes as the application of your talents and gifts as you live out your purpose. Think of 3 words. Think of purpose, think of time, think of money. And in all transitions, I want to bring my purpose with me. My purpose is not changing. My purpose is to help myself and others achieve our highest and greatest potential. I might be retiring from this job, but I'm not retiring from my purpose. My purpose exists. I might be eliminating this job spoke, but I have these other spokes. And in life transition, as long as you keep thinking, I am going to allocate my time to my purpose, therefore I am not abandoning my purpose. My purpose remains the same. If I choose to retire, which incidentally, I will not. Now people say, you must be able to afford to retire. Retirement is not my goal. It's not my purpose. My purpose is to help myself and achieve our highest and greatest potential. I can do that at Think to Perform or not. I'm not retiring from my purpose, nor are you. Get in touch with your purpose. Understand that if you allocate your time to your purpose, you will live a fulfilling life.